We'll start with David Lake from Inside the U. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, wanted to ask you, after reviewing the film, was there any common trend or themes about what happened on third down, I guess, particularly early in the game? Seemed like Clemson was able to get a lot of third and longs. Was there any common trends that you saw?
Yeah, I think, there was a variety of things. Obviously, we had a couple penalties that kept them on the field and resulted in 2 touchdowns in the first 2 drives. And then, that running back's a good player, and you got to give him a ton of credit. We wanted to do a better job of trying to get a guy close to him at all times, and he's a really good player. So if anything, he's probably the biggest common trend of being able to convert on third and long. But you got to tip your hat to him. I talked about him being the premier running back last year. He's probably the premier college football player in all of the country after seeing him in close and in person.
Coach, we're going to go to Gary Furman at Kane Sport. Gary?
Hey, Blake, how you doing? So I don't know if your grades line up with others' grades on the outside, but the one thing that was really noticeable was the poor grading of the linebackers, and it looked like Zach and Bradley really, really struggled in the game the other night. And another thing that stood out was that you gave Corey and Sam. Sam had 36 reps. Corey had 30 reps. So it looks like you're trying to play them a little bit more. Can you talk about just what you saw from that position the other night, and if the younger guys are going to start maybe getting a phase in a little bit more at that spot?
Yeah, I think it was a mixed bag. I thought Corey Flagg played outstanding, especially when you consider he's a true freshman and really his first significant snaps. He's a guy that's gotten better and better every single week and has kind of been, marinating behind the scenes, so to say. But I was really impressed with what he did. And, Sam did a really good job. He gave up I believe it was the first touchdown on the offsides. But outside of that, I thought he played really well. He's had a little bit of a lower leg injury and been battling that. But, yeah, I would definitely expect to see those guys play more and more often. They're earning the right to play. And, Zach and BJ, like I said, they were kind of up and down. Just need consistency out of that position. But I'm encouraged, especially with Corey and with Sam, with what they put on tape Saturday night.
And just as a follow, Zach in particular seems to be having some ups and downs. Is he experiencing after effects of sitting out for as long as he did? Is he right physically? Is there any insight you can provide there?
I think the biggest thing with Zach is, I think I have to do a better job of calming him down. Sometimes I think sometimes he gets a little bit wrapped up into the game and gets a little, just a little emotional sometimes out there. And there's times where I probably need to pull him off and get someone in there just to calm him down and relax and let him see the game from the sideline. But he's doing fine. He's had his ups and downs. He's played really, really well some games and not so well some other games. But I think we can do a better job maybe with a substitution package from that standpoint as well.
Coach, we're going to go to Barry Jackson at the Miami Herald. Barry, go ahead.
Hi, Blake. Websites that keep track of playing time said that Joyner did not get any defensive snaps, nor did Austin Cave. Are they okay health-wise? Where do they stand? And of your freshmen, anyone you want to incorporate more? We've seen, obviously, Flagg you talked about, and Brian Ballum had to play a lot on Saturday.
Yeah, Barry, who was the first name you said?
Sure, Pat Joyner, not a freshman, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
But someone who didn't get defensive snaps.
Yeah, I think both of those guys, Tariq has done an outstanding job on special teams. Not being able to have a spring as a true freshman. Sometimes, he's playing catch up a little bit from a schematic standpoint. And then, Pat's doing a nice job. I really think he probably should get in there a little bit more because I do think he does a nice job for us. But, it's one of those things where you kind of, as a coach, it's going with the flow of the game. And, not everything's predetermined, especially playing time. Sometimes you may have a plan about getting a guy in earlier than you do, and sometimes the game just doesn't dictate that. So that's something we evaluate every single week, to answer your question. And something that, we look back on and say who should have played more and who should have played less, quite frankly. But both those guys are doing a really nice job for us.
Thank you.
Coach, we have Chris Stock from InsideTheU. Chris?
Yeah, Coach, Amari Carter ejected, and it's starting to become a trend with him. Is there talks with him of how to avoid that, especially going into a game when you were down with Gervin, and then also, you're essentially going to have to say the same thing to Gervin because Amari will be down, just the messaging. And then is there anything you could do about it to prevent this from happening?
We keep echoing that, we just have to be really, really smart. We practice, we call it strike zone, just like on a baseball hitter, from the shoulder to the thigh board. And, sometimes it just happens so fast out there. I think there's times where it's easy to sit there on TV or to sit there when we have the game tape and put it in slow motion and say, oh, we should have avoided that. It's something that is, trust me, it's nothing malicious. They're not trying to do it. It just happens so fast on the field that sometimes it happens. And, in my opinion, I think there should be different levels of targeting. I think there is the real malicious ones where a guy is really trying to put the top of his helmet on another guy's helmet, and that shouldn't be tolerated. But there's others that, are not malicious, and a bang play that I think should be evaluated a little bit differently. But that's the rules of engagement. We understand that that's how the game is called, and we have to, try to avoid those collisions at all costs because it's costing the team. And yeah, I talked to Amari again last night about it. Like I said, nobody feels worse about it than Amari Carter, and it's not something he is doing on purpose. But we got to try to avoid those collisions.
Coach, we have David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David?
Hey, Coach. What strides have you seen in Gilbert Frierson of late, and how beneficial is it to have a guy at that striker position that can be physical at the line of scrimmage? We see him get some tackles for loss, and then also have that cornerback background to, we saw him with a pass breakup in single coverage on ETN down the sideline.
Yeah, Gilbert played outstanding Saturday night. Probably his best game, since I've been here. He's fun to coach. He's smart, very, very instinctual, understands concepts, understands what offenses are trying to do to you. And then, he has the physical abilities to play in the box and then also be able to play man-to-man. So excited about what he's brought to the table from a leadership standpoint as well. Gilbert's grown a lot, since I've been here, both on and off the field. And I couldn't be more happy for the guy. He loves the Miami Hurricanes. He loves this program. He loves football. And those are the guys you really want to see succeed. And you can tell that all his hard work and his film preparation is paying off on Saturdays. I think he's a guy that's gotten better and better for us every single week. And, hopefully he continues to do so throughout the season.
Coach, last but not least, we have Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Baker. Wanted to get you to talk a little bit about the, covering the running backs coming out of the backfield, what you kind of saw or what you've seen so far this season and the way you guys have handled that. And then as sort of a follow-up, just your assessment of Pitt. I know they've got that talented freshman receiver who does a lot of great things in the slot. If you can talk about what they do and the challenge this week with them.
Yeah, I think, up until this point, covering the backside of the backfield, we've done a nice job. And like I said, man, Etienne's he's a different creature back there, man. He's really, really good. So, like I said, you got to really just tip your hat to them. And, we got to do a better job of maybe putting our guys in better positions to get on the back sooner, when you're playing a guy like that. As far as Pitt, they're very similar to what we saw last year. Obviously they have the same offensive coordinator. I think they have 9 returning starters, very strong, very physical up front. Number 3, the receiver who you mentioned, he has a lot of speed, a lot of juice, can make plays. And then their quarterback coming back, for his senior year, has a ton of arm strength. Obviously has a lot of experience. He's accurate. He does a great job extending plays, making plays with his legs as much as he does with his arm. Schematically, they give you a lot of issues. They run a lot of heavy sets where they put the tackle on the they flip the tackle. They'll bring another tackle into the game. a lot of motions. I mean, they schematically present a lot of issues for you. So we're going to have to be dialed in. I'm expecting a great practice out of our guys tomorrow to be clued into what we need to be clued into. And I'm looking forward to the challenge on Saturday. But they do a really, really nice job on offense. Coach Whipple, he knows what he's doing.